Yes, we are here. We are here. And so, before we do launch into the next segment of the book, for the current intro chapter that is already in the file, we recommend that you do take this out, place it in another file, edit it, and we will give you insight into if this should be added somewhere in the book or added on to the current introduction chapter. And so, welcome back for another segment, another conversation, as we will be expanding further upon previous things that have been stated. And so it was mentioned in the previous chapter about reincarnation, your multidimensionality. And so this will be an explanation not only of what that does mean, but also it is a deeper explanation of who we are. As possibly you're wondering right now, who are these beings that were expressed in the introduction of this book who are speaking to me now? Who does this information come from that I am reading? And so you could say it is a deeper explanation of your true essence and also ours. And so a multi-dimensional being. What a word. What a concept. There is so much that we could explain and express here, and so we are just taking a moment to scan and identify and define those who are reading and taking this information in order to best tailor our response and explanation of this concept. And so, operating your human body system right now is a conscious awareness, the core essence of you, the true you, is simply a form of awareness. Now, the body, as we said before, is your anchor point into this experience and what you consider as linear time. The mind, one could say, is the control panel, the interface mechanism between the human mind, the body, and the conscious awareness. The conscious awareness operates through the mind. And yet, what is this conscious awareness? Where does it come from? What is its purpose and function? And so we are saying that conscious awareness is all. And so as you are operating as a limited expression of conscious awareness in the third dimension, you are also operating in the same format in other dimensional spaces or realities. Each level of dimensional reality contains a more expanded version of this conscious awareness expression. And yet, you could say at its core, at its source, stands the original conscious awareness. This is a form of consciousness. You could say it is the form of consciousness that contains all, all and everything. And so when a conscious awareness does have unlimited, infinite awareness, it is all that there is, you could say. Of course, in order to create and experience and expand even more its infiniteness, it does decide to fractal itself off. It does decide to create several limited expressions of itself, still very expanded compared to what you are considering. And yet, no one of those expressions is the all, knows the all. It simply is a piece of the all, fully whole in itself, and yet a limited focused expression. And so the all does participate in this action, creating what we would refer to as the architect. And so the architects work in collaboration with the all to design the next fractal expressions of the all. This is when our version of dimensional reality was created. And so you could say that the position that we are in is a dimensional reality that contains a collective conscious awareness. And so we are many beings, many forms of conscious awareness, and yet we are all connected and act as one. Limited expressions collaborating for a larger expression of the whole. And we do understand this is quite a lot to wrap your head around, and yet it is beneficial for you to consider this. We are still just as connected to the all as the architect. And yet this expresses itself differently for us than it does for them. And so then in this, you could say, to pull back for a moment, that the original conscious awareness, the all, does have a plan, a design in its completely aware mind. And so it does work with us and the architect in order to design another dimensional reality layer. And so within this layer, there is a different form of participation and expression of awareness. Each layer holds its own reality makeup. It holds its own beings, different expressions of conscious awareness. And so the all is formless, bodiless, just being. And the architects are a different expression of this. They are both able to manifest in form and also what you may consider as just spirit, being. Many different forms they take and many different ways they design and create and express their awareness. And for us, and also the layer below us, and below and above are relative terms in this, and yet they are necessary for you to essentially have an understanding of the layers of reality. And we are being a bit vague on our purpose and the lower realm's purpose at this moment, as we're needing to express fully the layers of creation first. And so the lower layer below us is more of a physical formation. It is etheric still, and yet the beings do consistently hold a physical form. And you could say, in that sense, we are very similar to the architects in that oftentimes we do not hold a physical formation, though we very much can express ourselves and our layer of reality in a physical manner. And so now there was a collaboration between all that was in this existence within the all to create two more layers. And now there was recognition that with each layer created, there was an increased level of density, meaning that the expression of conscious awareness is consistently more limited in its awareness and its expression. You could say it is the journey from undefined awareness and being into a very focused and defined expression of being. And so these last two layers are what you would refer to as the third dimension and also the fifth dimension. And there is much confusion about what this fifth dimension is. And so we often do refer to it as the fifth density, so as not to confuse it with your scientific physical structures for the dimensions of your reality experience, as these are observations and hypotheses made from your third dimension, which is a very limited expression and understanding of conscious awareness and reality. And so we are speaking of this from the outside in and not the inside out, which is where oftentimes the discrepancy does lay. And so in creating the fifth density and your third dimensional reality, this is where we begin to take on many functions in the cultivation and operation of these experiences, as we were recognizing how limited the function of energy and conscious awareness is at these levels. And so You would say that this is where the integration of matter and element, various other things did begin taking place. And while we will not bore you with the whole of the creation story, so to speak, each time that a new layer of reality expression was created, the beings from the layer above did express themselves in a fractal formation down into these lower densities. And so the all fractaled into the architect. And then the all supported the architect to fractal into us, the ninth dimensional expression. And we all in turn fractaled down into the seventh dimensional being. These etheric and yet very formed beings, who then in turn, in collaboration with us, did create more fractals to inhabit the fifth density and also the third density experiences. And we are expressing this to show that with each fractalization, there is still an inherent connection to all. And so many of you are direct fractals from your seventh dimensional aspect. They are whole still, and you are whole. And yet you are a different expression of, expressing in the limitation of the third dimension. We do understand this is another heavy concept, and yet it is important for you to recognize or begin to become curious about the true reality of what you are. And so, even in being direct expressions of those seventh dimensional beings, you are still directly connected to us. And though many of you are not aware of any of these connections, you are also connected to the architects. You are also connected to the source of all, the original conscious awareness, as you are essentially a form of fractal from that as well. Though there are layers in between, we are all of the same source. We are all aspects of it. And so, has this twisted and bended and blown your mind yet? Or are you still following along? And it is fully okay if you are not, as sometimes these concepts must be heard and explored a few times in order for any real comprehension and understanding to take place. And yet, recognize that in this expression we are giving, seeds are being planted that will be further nurtured and watered, and further connections will be made as the roots take. So trust, even if you are not fully comprehending what is being expressed, it is significant and purposeful and beneficial for you to continue on. As essentially the previous two expressions about the awakening of self in the intro, the recognition and remembrance of self. This is furthered in the next conversation about reincarnation, as this does bring a deeper recognition and awareness to what the self is and what it has experienced so far, what it continues to experience. And then this is the statement of true essence, who you truly are, your value, your capacity, your origin. As truly, this earth is not your origin point. This earth is an expression point, an experience point, in the culmination of a long string of experiences that are being brought to conclusion in order for a great form of evolution to take place, such as has never happened before. And you are all here participating in that, as you are all here in representation of us. And so, of course, we are quite invested in your experience and observing and supporting, as we are essentially, we are simply supporting ourselves, essentially, from our view. And so we do know you. We do know what you are capable of. And we do know the designed reasons why you participate in this reality at this time. And so, of course, we are wanting to connect with you, to guide you, to support you, to have you be aware of us and expanding your conscious mind to understand what it is that your conscious awareness truly is. And so, with that being said, we will conclude by saying that, of course, you are all able to connect in with us directly. And this is another thing that will be expressed in this book. And yet, for now, it is just a concept, an idea that is being placed into the awareness for further consideration and contemplation, knowing that it is possible to have direct connection with all aspects of yourself and others. And so the last thing that we will express before concluding this conversation for now is a very basic expression of energy. At its core, the original conscious awareness chooses to hold the profound, pure, complete expression of the energy of love without restriction, without condition, always expanding, never contracting. And so you can rightly say that that is the core energy frequency that we all, in these other dimensional realities, choose to operate within. As it is truly our direct connection and expression of our understanding of being part of the all. And yet, just like with conscious awareness, the expression of energy changes with each layer of dimensional reality. And so the way that our love is felt and expressed is quite different from that of the original. Just as the same could be said for the way it expresses through the seventh dimension. And then, of course, down into your dimension. And yet, oftentimes, humans do conflate and confuse the energy frequency of complete unconditional love with the human expression and label, the word love. And they are quite different. And some even do express love as a chemical hormonal reaction in the brain and the body. And yet we are saying that is simply just the physical responses to various forms of the energy frequency of love. And even physical biological responses can be tricked. But the conscious awareness, your true essence of being, is fully capable of embodying this energy frequency of unconditional love. While it may be in an altered and limited expression, it is still the same energy frequency. The conscious awareness is also able to read and pick up on this energy frequency, whether it be the energy expressing in the third dimension or the energy being expressed from us, the higher dimensional being. You are able to feel that. You're able to know that. And yet you have placed so many things as overlays and frameworks and belief systems, limited perspectives and understandings of who you are in reality, and holding on to all the density of the experiences that you have gone through and the people you have interacted with. And so, of course, this does restrict and cloud you from truly feeling this energy frequency as it was meant to be felt. You place limits on love, or you are hurt by experiences with lack of love, or with the illusion that love could be removed from you, with the illusion that you are not at your core love, that you are something else. And so we will conclude with the expression of our gratitude and our appreciation for being able to again express upon these concepts, and yet in a different form, through a different individual, or as we like to refer to you as the vehicles, as your bodies truly are vehicles for conscious awareness. And so this is an accurate and, for some, humorous expression of us communicating through you. And we do understand that some are unsettled by this, and yet sometimes the reality of what is can be unsettling for those who have conditioned themselves or been conditioned by others or systems to think otherwise. So this is an opportunity to question yourself, to expand yourself and consider a new point of view, a grander perspective, if you will. And so, as we said before, please, we recommend giving yourself some time and consideration after reading this chapter. Nurture yourself. Care for yourself, love yourself, consider and contemplate and question on what has been said here. And we will now add a new recommendation that will be repeated and repeated throughout the expression of this book, and that is to gift yourself the clarity, the high energy, the love of drinking lots and lots of water, taking a moment to speak to the water if you must, or send your energy frequency into it, filled with love and gratitude, with the idea of absorption and integration and release. Or, of course, as we said, you can simply speak this into your water, whether it be with a thought or a verbal communication. This does help your body integrate and absorb and utilize the water you are drinking much more effectively and efficiently. And we will speak on this more in later chapters, and yet we're wanting to again put this in your conscious mind, plant a seed, give you something for consideration. And so, with so much love to you all, that is all.